Hi Omi! I thought I would make a second video showing you another really popular route that I take to get to class. So this is on my way to a class that I have also on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5. I usually call you when I walk to this class as well. So I'll just start kind of to orient you where I am, and then I'll take you along with me. Okay, so I usually come to this class from a variety of different initial locations. I don't always go straight from my building, but to give you an idea of where we are, I live straight down that way and then to the left, so you would be able to see my building if this building wasn't in the way. So I live right that way, so I usually walk behind the building along this way, and then I come up this kind of stretch of road. So right here, this is Ponderosa. This is another residence. So this building, and this one here, they're all part of the same residence. Where those red umbrellas are, right here, is a nice little pizza place that I go to. Where those yellow umbrellas are, right there, is another place that I usually get breakfast. And I'll kind of come along and walk up this stretch of pathway along here. So I think I'm gonna move into the sun because it's a little bit warmer and hopefully it'll be a better picture. It's a really nice day today, so that's why I decided to film. I'm gonna turn the view front so that you can see what I see. Okay, so this is the way that I will walk to get to kind of what we call main campus. So again, I live kind of off to the side. I live in kind of the outskirts of the campus, and this is bringing it more into what is the hustle and bustle. Right now it's not the time of changing classes, but I'll try to get some footage because the streets will just flood with people when it's time to change classes. The building here to the left, this building is Sauder. It's the business school. I actually have had some classes in there, even though I'm not a business student. They kind of shuffle you around. It's really nice. And here, there's some art. They're always changing this wood structure. Every year it changes. Although I tend to prefer it this year. It's kind of nice. This building over here is the education faculty. There's a really nice library in there that I like to study in. I was hoping that the fountain would be turned on, but it's not. But I will give you a nice view of it anyways. So this is kind of the heart of campus right here. This is the fountain. It's a huge landmark for UBC. Along this way is kind of the promenade. All of the leaves fell within the last 3 days. So I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner because the view would be a lot prettier. And then on this side, you can kind of see just kind of where everything meets in the middle. It meets right at this fountain. And again, sorry, I thought they would have the fountain on. I guess they've turned it off for a year. But this is it. This is kind of the fountain view. I live back that way to the left, and everything kind of radiates out from this fountain. So I'm gonna be going this way. I'm actually gonna take a bit of a long way so I can show you some other landmarks that might be interesting for you to see. This is up here, this is called the Structure. It's kind of a boring name, but it's a really cool piece of architecture. It was put up this summer and it smells incredible. I can't describe how great. It just smells like fresh cut wood all the time, even though it's been up for months. It's really nice, really calming. Take a quick view. There's people in there. It's pretty cool. And then along here, this is pretty important piece of UBC landmark here. This is the pond. It's a tiered pond, which is cool. A lot of the biology students do some studies in here with some of the wildlife and some of the water in this area. They have a bunch of different cool plants and rocks, and it's just nice to see you see little frogs hopping around. You see feel like you have a bit of nature. And then at every tier, there's a mini waterfall. It's really soothing to sit and listen. It's along here. So that's something that's pretty fun. Nice. Okay, so this is something I walk by usually once a day, definitely several times a week, but it's nice to take some time to appreciate it. People usually sit here when it's warmer, they'll listen to, you know, the water falling and smell the flowers and see little frogs hopping around. I mean, most of the animals are, you know, hibernating or they've gone away for the winter, but it's still nice. And then here there's this totem pole that was a gift from the nearby Aboriginal tribe, which is the Musqueam people. And this is really beautiful because it was given to us to celebrate our 100th year anniversary, which passed in 2015, I think. And so that's just really nice because it's put in such a beautiful, prominent location. You can really appreciate it. So coming along here, there's kind of this stage seating area. People will perform on here, or they'll have sort of events that use this kind of, the view kind of looking this way. You can see the totem pole and everything. It's a really beautiful site. This is classic UBC. Over here, this is our bookstore. This is where I go to buy all my textbooks, all my UBC gear. And this is like really the heart of campus where we're at right now. So this over here is the bus loop. This is where all the buses come. This is where you go if you want to kind of leave. It stretches beyond these buildings here. I've had some classes in that building. It's called Westbrook, just kind of your classic school building. This here is the Alumni Center, so with all these stripes. Fun fact, the stripes are painted there so that birds wouldn't fly into the window and injure themselves. It is entirely a glass building, which is pretty neat, but it's still earthquake proof, so that's cool. And then over here we have the Nest. Might make a separate video about the Nest, because I don't have time to go into it right now, but the Nest is our student union building. It's really where everything happens. All the administrative things you need are in the Nest. A lot of food, just kind of your classic hub of activity. There's actually a climbing wall in the Nest, so I'll try to make a video about that soon. And this here is called the Mound. The Nest actually is built underneath this hill, so if you have, there's a building, part of the building is under where that grass is, so it's pretty neat. Over here, there's always something going on. These are science buildings. I've never had classes there. So we're kind of in this section. I used to live in that area, buildings behind over there. So again, I'll try to make a video about those. It's all going to be in pieces based on where I have to go for my classes and things. But yeah, this is kind of a nice way to see the campus. So right now I'm headed to a class that I have in the main library, which is called the Irvin K. Barber Library. It is my favorite building on campus, so I'm really excited to be able to go there and show you what it's like. Wow, I'm not in frame. It's really exciting because this is a library I study in very frequently, so it'll be nice to show you what it's like and show you how my days go, what I see. So as I get closer, this is kind of a really nice forest area, and in here you'll see they have different chairs and benches for people to sit. Until last week they had like these Adirondack chairs you could come and relax in between this little foresty area, so that's a nice feature. And this is the building. I'm actually going to take us around the back because the site is beautiful. So this building is a combination of historical and modern. I'm going to switch the view for you. So they really tried to use the old foundation of this building and then the new like modern build around it. So that's really exciting because I think it has a really unique look to the building. It has a really modern and yet traditional feel. That's why it's one of my favorite places to study. So I'll bring you around to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the clock tower at UBC, really important piece of history. Frankly, I don't know too much about it, but I know that it was one of the first things built, and of course it's a clock tower. It chimes on the hour and it always has this really distinct look. It lights up at night. I can see it from my bedroom. You know, you can kind of always see it, and it's just like a real way to anchor yourself to know where you are. So here, this is the back of the building, and you'll notice like the juxtaposition of modern versus this old section of the library. is a really nice way to pay homage to UBC's history. I'm going to try to step back and give you like a wide view of it. Over here, this fountain is new. It's really nice. And then this is the new Indian Residential School History and Dialogue Center. It was recently finished, and they have all these places for students to sit. And so like Alfred and I will often come down here when the weather is nice just to sit and relax. There's also another pond down here. So this is kind of behind this building here. That building is also a library. I'll show you that one in another video. And this is where we're at. So here, you can kind of see, I didn't go far back enough, but you can kind of get an idea of the scale of Irving K. Barber, of the library. This is what it looks like. I really love it. It's my favorite building on campus. So I'm gonna bring you in now. So some of the places I'm gonna bring you into are quiet. I won't be able to talk as I film. So some of the parts will be quiet, and then others I'll be able to speak in. So we'll see how busy it is. So I'm gonna take you to one of my favorite places. Okay, so I made it out of there. There's kind of a rule in libraries, it's an unspoken rule, but the higher you go, the quieter it is. And so I couldn't really talk up there because it's the tallest floor, it's the highest point of the library. It's where, you're expected to be the quietest. Now I'm back on the third floor. I'm gonna show you where my class is. So this is the main doors. So I was actually showing you the back of the building before. This is where you come in through the main entrance. And I'll bring you to where I have class. There's a little cafe over that way. There's some library computers. I often study at these tables here. But I'll bring you around. And this is the corner of the building that we saw before. So remember, we came from the nest, which is that way. We came from, this is where the trees are. That's the nest, the student building. That's the direction we came from earlier. And so the class I have is on the first floor. It's in the basement. Alrighty. This is the meat and bones of IKB. Okay, so I just had class, and I'm hoping that I've left early enough that I can show you how busy it gets during the change of classes, but I mean, it's like a Thursday afternoon. That's gonna be pretty quiet. But here, let's walk home. So as you can see, it's already like quite a bit busier than it was before. Classes at UBC start on the hour and they go until 10:02. So all my classes get out at like 4:50 or 3:50 or whatever. And those 10 minutes are the busiest time on campus because everyone is flooding out of the classes and either heading to their next class or heading home or heading somewhere. So that's when you really see these kind of busy times. Even, I mean, of course most classes happen in the morning, so in the morning it's crazy, but for Thursday evening, it's, as you can see, it's already pretty busy. So it's really bright and the fountain's on, so that's nice. That's great. Here you can see it's pretty dark because of the sun. Of course, it's gorgeous weather. This is the fountain. Yeah, that's the way. That's what I was hoping to show you before, so I'm really glad that it's done up. Because you can see everybody moving around, see the water. Sometimes it'll like spike up really high. So this is really nice, and you can see kind of the crowds of people. So that's exciting. So right now I'm headed home to do some homework, and then I'm gonna have dinner with Alfred. I usually see him in the evenings during the week, and then on the weekends I'll spend the whole weekend at his place. But during the weekdays we're busy. I'm a little bit busier than he is. So I like to take the time to try to get some of my work done while we're apart so that when we're together we can relax and enjoy. Yeah, so I'm headed home, gonna do dinner and then work on my assignments. I'm gonna make a video in which I explain what my degree is so that you know. Ooh, there's a car. So yeah, that information will all be in that video. I hope that the video is bright enough. I mean, even though it's looking in the sun, I feel like everything else is really dark, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'm not an expert filmmaker.
Is everyone else like a lot of chicks moaning?
Okay, so that building there is the psychology building. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. That is the place that I work, and I do a lot of stuff in there. Again, along here, this is back where we were before. These are residences, and this is there's yoga classes in there that I go to sometimes. This building, that yellow umbrella, that's Harvest. I get my breakfast there a lot. So that's a place that I go pretty frequently. We're just headed back to Marine Drive to my residence now. That's a weird car. Huh, cool. Okay, so now we're along the stretch back to my residence. This is the parkade. Not very exciting, but I pick up a lot of my evos from there. So you can see everyone's heading out for the day. And this is the stretch of road that leads to my residence. So this is something I walk every single day to get back home. Here we are, home. So this is my building. I'm up there.
Hi Omi! So the video you just watched was a video I made back in October showing you what it was like when I went to my classes in the fall. I didn't ever film an end to that video, so this is me now filming that end. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you very much, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Mwah! Love you. Stay safe.